Hey everyone, in this video we are with Niharika. She is a motivational speaker and co-founder of youth organization called Shunya Project and content creator and social activist. In this video we discussed about with her is all about how her journey begins, how she became a social activist, content creator and social activist, and then what is Shunya Project and how to overcome from failures, and that two to three times in 2 to 3 fields, and the need of social awareness, and then her message to youth. Hey everyone, welcome back to FS. Today we are with Niharika. She is an content creator and then social activist, motivational speaker and co-founder of youth organization Shunya Project. Niharika, welcome to our channel. This is Ease of Finding Skill.
Thank you so much for having me.
Niharika, since so many days I have a doubt that how do you perform the role of the content creator, social activist, motivational speaker and co-founder of youth organization like Shunya Project all at once? Isn't it hard?
It'll be very wrong to say, and because it definitely is hard. But since I love doing all of those things, it's not like I do a lot of things at once. It's just that you can, perform a lot of roles one at a time. So I do that, and I think I've got, with time, when you do something, you understand it better, and that's how you get your priorities straight. You understand what is to be done at what time. So that's how I manage it. And because I enjoy doing all of these things, which is why I don't really find it very exhausting. At the end of the day, obviously the body needs rest, so there's that. But mentally, I don't really feel tired after creating content or managing the Shunya project. It's all fun and nice when you see the impact that it's creating. And that's the very thing that keeps me going. So when I see that impact happening, that impact being there, I don't think I find it that hard. But initially, the kind of effort that you put in, it's definitely hard. Everything requires a lot of effort. And even things you love, they can be burdensome at times, which is, I think, very normal.
You are so inspirational, to be frank.
Thank you.
How did your journey begin, and what are the problems you faced in your path to finally become a social activist and creator on social media?
My journey, honestly, because I used to really enjoy public speaking. Ever since I was in school, then I used to do a lot of debates and declamations. So I realized that I like facing the audience. I like talking about important matters, not just everything, but things that I feel very passionate about. And that is when I realized if I like doing this, I could get into content creation also. So I think the very first time where I felt that I could be a social activist and that my inclination towards social activism is so much that I really want to pursue it was when I uploaded this one video on board exams, and somehow it got viral, and I was like, okay, just because I'm facing a camera and putting my opinion across to an audience that I cannot even imagine how much it will be, if that can create so much impact, it can reach to, Hindustan Times and the Quint and like news channels, and then it can reach to other people through them. The impact is so huge that I really want to do this. I want to create that impact. I want my ideas, my knowledge to reach people, and I want to learn from them. I want to help or contribute to the society in some way. So that is when I realized that, okay, I really want to do this. Then I got into content creation, and I did not really start with social activism. As everybody else, I was too overwhelmed with the views and the entire following on social media, and I was like, okay, let's do something about quotes and just random things. But it's taken me 6-7 months to actually arrive back at the very same thing I started with. Of course, this reflects the very problem that I've had my entire journey. Do I look at the algorithm, or do I look at the purpose that I started creating content with? So that has been one thing, to being too overwhelmed with numbers, being disappointed because you're not getting as many numbers as you expect through your effort, through your content. You feel like, okay, I've put in an entire day's work. I want at least some, amount of people to watch it. But when they don't, you feel very disappointed, and that's when you think, okay, let's stop, let's give up because it's not for me. So those those things and those phases have been there, and those have been the very problems, and you don't always feel motivated to create content. You don't always feel motivated about various topics and everything. So that those have been a few of those problems. But I think every time I face a problem, having very supportive people around you, talking to yourself is always there, but having very supportive people around you who you can share your problems with, and those people who are very smart enough to come with constructive criticism or constructive feedback, it's very important. So those problems don't feel like problems once you talk to them. And so the company of those friends, family is very important.
We need to be very patient in initial days. That's what we learned from these lines.
Absolutely.
Where do you see your content creation and then social activism journey in a year, Niharika?
In a year, the thing that I started with, I think I'd really like people in a year to, as a dream, what I see is, I wake up and make content with that thing in my mind, that my dream is to reach a point where people feel very positively impacted and influenced by my work. Let's say somebody in some corner of the world says, I know this thing because I watched her content. And somebody says, listen, I don't really use racial slurs right now, or I don't really discriminate on the basis of gender because I watched a video. And this is the very impact that I want to create, at least. So I really like when anything that I do can positively impact the society. So in a year, I see that happening on a larger scale. Today, maybe it happens to one or two people who feel, okay, maybe, I'm impacted and I want to change something about myself after watching her video. Maybe that time, after 1 year, I want a larger group of audience to be impacted in the very same manner.
That's nice. What is Shunya project is all about, and how has it is impactful to you, impactful for youth? Then can you explain, Niharika?
Yeah, the Shunya project was actually, when we started out, it was a mental health organization. So we wanted to create awareness. During the entire pandemic, we also know, people were going through a lot of mental health issues. People were feeling a lot of emotions that they couldn't really express to other people. So that's when we felt that it's very important to talk about mental health awareness. It's also a team. When we were 25 people in a team, maybe most of us did not have knowledge about various mental health issues. So through the entire journey of the Shunya project, using social media as a medium to spread mental health awareness, we learned about it ourselves. We made other people aware about various mental illnesses and how you can approach people with mental illnesses, how you can responsibly do everything and keep, that sort of regard for people, and you do not discriminate. You have that sort of inclusive approach. So all of these things, we actually, the purpose and the main intent of the organization was that it was impactful for the youth, because honestly I felt, for at least the team, I can't tell who was positively impacted by our work. I can't tell really. I only hope that somebody or the other might have felt that they've been very positively impacted. But as a team of 25, we felt that we have been very we have been influenced in a way that we are now able to understand mental health better, and we are able to share posts with that sort of a mindset. So those things, I think that education and awareness, we as a team have grown throughout the journey of the Shunya project. So it's been impactful for the youth, obviously, because it was a topic that was very important to be talked about. But as a team also, we grew a lot.
You have had a long journey, right? How do you suggest to the people to stay motivated even after failing two to three times in 2 to 3 fields, like startups and jobs and examinations like UPSC especially?
Honestly, I've not had a very long journey. It's not been a lot compared to what people have had. But yes, I've learned a lot in this journey. And one has been, like I told you, I started with creating content for 6 months I did that. I was creating content on very random things, random quotes, or those random trends that we are so influenced by on social media. Any kind of dancing trend, or say any kind of audio that we feel like, okay, could get a lot of views for us. So I used to do that. It was only later that I realized that I should do something of my own. And that entire pivoting journey from what you think would work and to what you think you should do. That entire journey requires has a lot of experience involved, has lots of failures. So my first 6 months were obviously failures. Even today, I don't think I'm successful, Abhibi. It is going to take me a very long time, or maybe not. That is, nothing is guaranteed. I don't know whether in another 2 days one of the things I do gets viral or whatever. I mean, I can't really predict it. But I've been through that sort of failure for 6 months. I've seen my reels or my videos not working at all. And through that, the only thing that has kept me motivated, otherwise I would have given up in the very first month, the only thing that has kept me very motivated has been my long-term goal. Through what I'm doing, what do I want to achieve? Even if it's going to take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or maybe 3 months, what is it that I want to achieve? When I think about that, it is when I realize that all this effort I'm putting, even if it's not producing results today, all this effort is worth it because I want to become that. So my goal is very clear to me. So it's important that you have your goal clear to you. If you want to become an if you're a UPSC aspirant and you want to become a civil servant, that entire thing, think about, when you become a civil servant, the kind of respect you get, the kind of responsibility you get, so much authority, and then so much change that you can bring in the system. When you think about that, you feel like, okay, koi baat nahi, 2 baar try kar liya, 3 baar try kar liya, it's fine. I will try 5 times, but I will become what I have to become. Then if it doesn't work, then though I consider it foolish to, even after 5 times, to keep running behind being a civil servant. Then it's maybe not for you. When you've tried so many times and it's not working, then it's not for you. You should try something else. It's not like one career is the end of the world for you. So there are a lot of things, but when you try and you put in hard work and effort for something, it mostly, and I'd say 99% of the times, it's always worth it and it always pays off. Hard work never goes unrewarded. So if you keep on with that goal and you keep thinking about your end destination, you would keep going, and all of those failures would just add as experiences in your entire journey.
Oh, such a nice lens. To be frank, these are very inspirational for so many aspirants who are preparing for civil services, and those who didn't get till now the jobs, and who are struggling period, and then who initiate the startups for them also actually. And Niharika, nowadays society is dreaming of development, right? And neglecting social awareness. What is the importance of awareness of society, and what is it the need, first of all?
The need of any kind of change you want to create in the society, it needs awareness. Like I uploaded a video an hour back before stepping in here. I recorded a video and it was about the lumpy skin disease that's in India, and it has killed 80,000 cattle. So that if you're not aware about it, there are still farmers who have those infected cows with, who go to graze with the infected cows and the healthy ones together, because they don't know that the skin nodules are supposed to be lumpy skin disease. They have no idea about it, which is why if there are 4 cows who are infected, 4 other cows will be infected because of the initial 4. But they don't know about it. They have no idea how this works because they don't have the awareness about it. They're simply unaware. And it's not just about this, it's about other things. People who hurl abuses at people about racial things, or let's say racial slurs. If they use them, they probably don't know that people are offended by it. They probably don't know that racism is still prevalent in India. So these are things that when you're aware about things, when you're aware that gender discrimination is there, sexism exists, when you know that it's not right to do it, that is when you won't do it. If you're not aware about things, you will never think before you speak. You will never want to work for the society, or contribute. If you don't know there exists poverty, if you don't know there are people without clothes, without people who sleep with maybe just 1 meal a day, you would never want to contribute to the society and help them. So this is the kind of awareness that you have to know. You can contribute, you can use your privilege and contribute to the society, help people, uplift the poor. So awareness is like the number one, I think, a step to the ladder. If we want change, the very first thing is we need to be aware about what's happening around us. So that is where I see the need of it, and that's where I also see the importance of it.
Niharika, to be frank, you are talking like expert.
I am no expert. I am genuinely telling you, I'm no expert. It's just that I have this in me. I want to do all of this. So I talk about it as if I'm already doing it, but it's just one of my aspirations. And it's one of those reasons why I'm studying public administration. I want to understand the administration better and how I can also contribute to the change.
Wow, nice. You are correlating your education with the real life. Okay, what is your message to the youth, Niharika, and anything else that they should specifically focus on and learn?
My message to youth, people who are my age, and my only message is that because I am a social activist and I create content on that, the only thing that I'd like to say is, when you see the things that you talk about on social media and all of those big things you talk about, try to implement them in your daily life also. If you see somebody with, one thing that I really talked about, because I am very passionate about it, and I also get very easily offended when people use all those sexist remarks. If you are using all of that and you think it's funny, then you're not up for feminism, you're not up for equality, and you're not really against feminism, you're not really against sexism. If you laugh at those jokes people crack. So just be very aware and very, even while you use violent remarks when you're talking between friends, if you use those, that just becomes a part of your personality at some point, and it just becomes very normalized. If you're talking about, say, violence, if you're talking about jokes that are against women, or say jokes against jokes that are racist, or jokes that discriminate against a particular group, if you talk about them, you are actually normalizing them, and you are not creating change. You are actually maybe like making the entire world that's already so polluted, you're making it even more polluted with those kind of negative thoughts and with that sort of discrimination. So be very careful in even the daily conversations you have at home, with your friends, everywhere. Try to include it as a part of your personality. If you're up for feminism, it is very important that you actually feel it by heart and you're really passionate about it. That is when you make it a part of you and you really stand for it. So that's my only message. And the other thing that if you're asking about, professionally, what can people learn? It has to be one thing that I very recently learned. If you are at one stage and you are not upskilling, no matter how much time passes, you will always be at the very same stage. So it's very important that you upskill every single day. Obviously not every single day, very literally, but as much as you can, try to upskill and to improve in what you do and not just stay stagnant, because without growth, I don't think anything can really happen, and you can't really reach your goals and your dreams without upskilling. So try to do that. If you're, say, a graphic designer, try to learn more courses and try to improve and enhance your skills. That's what I am also aiming to do with my content these days. So I think that's my only message. Other things I'm still learning, so maybe I can tell later.
You bring very nice points like racism, sexism, because those are very serious issues today. But nobody showing interest on such kind of things. To be frank, we have to show the interest on such kind of things to bring changes in society. Okay, thank you, Niharika. Thank you for being here. Very nice session with you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching us, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Ease of Finding Skills.